Hi, this is Dan on the Sunny Slope Funny Farm. Welcome to Fowl Play. It's a shot of the moonrise. Today is Saturday, February 23rd. And I know we've been away for a while, and maybe some of you are wondering, where we've been for the last month or so. Really, I think it was February 2nd when we made a video last. What you're looking at here is the moonrise, if I didn't say that already. Full moon. I'm just standing just outside the farm, just on the road here. Got a lot to talk about, folks. This is not a video that we like to make. But it's a video, and it's a family event that every family will endure and has endured. And more specifically, I'm going to just take a little walk down our road here. It's the people that have the property across the street started a fire, and they were burning this debris over here, but then they left it unattended. So maybe just when I pulled up to the farmhouse earlier, I saw smoke. My heart jumped. Okay, my heart leaped. I'm gonna tell you. And there's still some flame over there. You can see that in the video. So this is unattended. I don't like that necessarily. When I burn debris, or I make sure that it's attended and I have water and I have supplies for emergency. So take a walk with me. I'm sorry you're not looking at birds, and I have a little video Clementine coming to me, and perhaps I'll put that in here in just a little bit. But right now, Mrs. Fowl Play is up in north central Kansas, where her sister lived. Again, the shot of the moon. And her sister has had a long history of breast cancer. And her sister's name is Linda. And my wife, this is Mrs. Fowl Play. This is her third sibling to die of cancer. And quite frankly, and all of you know that know the channel know that we're both nurses. I'm a nurse. I basically have taken, medical retirement because of the dialysis and needing a kidney transplant. And I don't know of any family that hasn't been touched by cancer. It's a scourge on our society. And just when we thought that Linda was clear, as far as the doctor said that she was free of cancer, and then, literally a short time, I can't say the timeline, but it wasn't very long, then we discovered she had cancer all over her body. Literally all over her body. I'm not going to get into details, but they tried several chemo. I saw my shadow on the road, and I thought there was a car coming. It was the shadow from the moon. When I zoom in, it's a little brighter. So they tried several rounds of chemo. Basically kind of like a different one and a stronger one, and it wouldn't have even been curative. It was merely palliative, and maybe to decrease tumor sizes and maybe add some days and months and weeks to her life. But that didn't happen. I have seen so much cancer in my career And quite frankly, I might rant just a little bit. The cost of medicine right now is beyond almost the average person's grasp. I'm telling you that stealing our wealth, having on being on dialysis and so many bills, and any of you that have chronic medical diseases, I mean, the list goes on, obviously. It's almost like, I don't know, other people describe it as a theft of our wealth, and I'll call it wealth. Not that we're wealthy, but what wealth we have is being taken from us. Now, Linda provided well for her family, her children, and I'm impressed with that. And we got a lot of paperwork signed and things before she passed. We had a family meeting merely last Saturday, and she went into hospice, and she decided it to be what they call do not resuscitate. And Linda passed peacefully with her mother at her side. She was not alone. So thank you for listening for a while. I'm just taking a walk, basically just kind of down the dirt road. I did want to check on that fire. And as I look back, I'll try to, you can kind of see the moon through the trees there. Check that out. That is gorgeous. It really is. So I'm not really gonna, I'll show you the Linda's what they call it, program that has her picture on it. I'll show you that here in just a moment. But I'm going to go back to the cancer discussion here, and they keep saying there's all these great breakthroughs. Okay, I was an oncology nurse in addition to being an obstetrical nurse, and I saw three things being done: surgery, chemo, radiation. Surgery, chemo, radiation. What did they do for Linda? Surgery, chemo, radiation. In this case, in Linda, they didn't do surgery because the cancer was so far spread, but they did that the first time. Surgery, chemo, radiation. Where are all the breakthroughs? Show them to me. Show me how we're curing cancer and all the cures. Some people, yes, are being, but we're using so much poison to cure the cancer, and just enough to cure the cancer and not the host. And we're still doing the same thing. Now, folks, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but dadgummit, I'll even say, oh, bloody hell. Somebody's making a lot of money off cancer. Well, we're living longer, that's why. Okay, well, St. Jude is full of little kids with cancer. Now, give me a fast answer for that. These troubled parents, and it's not because we're living longer. If cancer stopped tomorrow, think of how many people would be out of a job worldwide. Perhaps millions of healthcare workers that work in the cancer field, on the oncology field, to pick a better medical term, who would be out of a job if cancer stopped tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying people want cancer to continue, but somebody's making a lot of bloody profit. When I see the cost, a dialysis cost, somebody's making a lot of bloody profit. So it does beg some questions. Tell me what family out there hasn't been touched by cancer? I know of none. I'm still on the dirt road here. Of course, I'm facing west. And when you zoom in on the sunset there, it gets brighter. And if I zoom out, then you lose some of the light. So I'm just kind of staying zoomed in as I walk. So we have a talk. You can kind of see where that little bridge is over here. So our family needs a lot of prayer, and I recently had a very big blowout. I'll call it a blowout or blow up, or we had a Jesus come to meeting with some people that wanted money out of me. And I'm not going to say which institution or how much, or I'm not going to go into those details, but when I pressed them hard with, and this money was, I mean, it wasn't an exorbitant amount either that they wanted out of us, but when I pressed them hard, the average family is paying $1,000 more a month because of inflation. Okay, we're not stupid out here. We know what's happening. And the leaders in this country are not leaders. Period. End of story. There's no argument about that. There's a certain presidential leader who has dementia. Okay? Call it for what you ever want it is. I know what it is. Would you let a certain presidential, I mean, he has the nuclear codes. Really? Would you let him drive your kids to school? No, you wouldn't. Maybe corn pop. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit political here. There seem to be other winners, but not the regular person, not the regular guy, not the... So I pressed hard with this institution and proved to them how much we are hurting as a family and what our struggles are. And actually they said, you know what, I'll use the word embarrassed, but humbled was their words, with a certain chief financial person of a certain institution. I said, we don't live some lavish lifestyle out here. I said, I bet your cars are newer than ours. And I went into a lot of things, including our struggles with our family, and my wife burying her third sibling, and my mother-in-law burying her third child. And it meant me going to dialysis every other day just to stay alive. And then on the days off, then I have to make appointments and go to this and have a surgery and have a procedure and make 50 calls to insurance companies and ask them why they, I mean, that's what I told them. And in this case, it helped. It made them see. They said, we are humbled by what you showed us. And in their values statement, they said compassion and making the community a better place. And I said, my fuel pump went out of my truck, and I had a bunch of other repairs done too, $1,200. And a few weeks ago, I hit a bird and busted my windshield. I said, those things come first before your medical bills. And just like you folks out there living, just trying to get by. I don't want to drop my phone down there. But there's the river, or the creek. We're trying to get by. And people are hurting. And people are struggling. See if the zoom in, zoom out. And when I see our leadership in this country like it is, do you think I'm confident that I'm going to get a kidney? I'm not very confident at all I'm going to get a kidney. And sometimes I'm not even, I mean, we couldn't even get meds. Last Friday, I had meds due. None were critical, but some people's were because we got hacked. And, you know, I say we, the provider that runs, they said, we have the meds, but we can't bill insurance because the server that billed the insurance was hacked. So the little guy takes it a little bit more, right? So I guess this did kind of turn into a rant. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna post this, and I hope that if you stuck in here this long, folks, I thank you. If you stuck in here that long, or maybe you bailed out and started praying for us, I thank you for that too. You can thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't care. So Mrs. Fowl Play's brother, Bill, is here he lives in Tampa, and he is here for a few days. And he'll have to go home, I think, Wednesday, fly back. It's her last sibling she has living right now. And of course, Mrs. Fowl Play worries about me. You know, something could easily happen to me. Now, obviously, I'm not going to choose not to go to dialysis, but if you chose not to go to dialysis for very long, then you would simply pass in about 2 weeks. So please pray for our nation, okay? It's not well. Our nation's not well. If you're out there and you have good insurance, well, praise God for that. And we have so-called good insurance, and we're still, I could quote a line from the movie Liar, Liar, but I'll hold that. I'll hold my tongue. Probably have to repent of it later. Pray for our nation. Pray for our family and every other family. That I talk to people all over the place. People are struggling everywhere, like I said. You look at Kensington and people on Trank and the homeless piled up, and do you think they care about the opioid crisis? I'm going to say no, or they would spend those billions, get billions and billions of dollars down there on Kensington Avenue or Skid Row, and get healthcare workers down there, mental health care workers, and get the National Guard or whatever it takes to start doing the right thing. Now, I'm not saying we just give people everything and get people into treatment. That's what I mean. Healthcare workers, mental health care workers, get them down there. But I feel like our country is sinking, and if you have a chronic illness, we're sinking with it. So once again, thank you for listening. I guess I said already, I turned this into a rant. But I hope that I expressed some of the frustration that you're feeling. And just know that I did push back on one institution, like I said, and it was effective. But I don't have people, and you don't have people. Maybe some of you out there have people. I don't have people. I don't have, access to insurance information, and it can just, you don't have that, I don't have that, so we have to call and go through channels and press 1 for English, and we have to do all that most of the time ourselves. Sometimes we have an insurance advocate, and that's helpful, but we still have to slog through all of that on our own. And when we're at the end of life, or when we have a chronic illness, it should be the last thing we worry about. So there's the moon, full moon. I'm still on the bridge here. Just listening. I'm gonna stop talking and listen to the quiet for a little bit. Thank you for listening. This has been 20 minutes long now. I've never made a video this long. Thank you for letting me share with you. Linda was a teacher. I forgot to say she's a teacher, well loved by her students. And of course, her family, kids and grandkids, her sister, brothers through the years, the brothers that were lost. Not lost if you know where they are, I guess, right? If you know where someone's heart is and they're with the Lord, they're not lost. You know where they are. And that's a great comfort that we take right now. As Linda was at peace with her Maker, with Jesus. And we all need to be, because we're all going to take that step into eternity, and that it's irreversible. So take care out there. Look out for one another. Push back if you have to, if you can, in some cases. I've got a lot of other pushback I still have to do, but like I said, I won. I'll put that in quotes, I won, quote unquote. So this is Dan, just off the beaten path of the Sunny Slope Funny Farm, watching the moon rise. Please take care of each other. Like I said, peace be the journey. Follow Jesus. We'll see you next time. There's my girl. Come on, Clem. There's my girl. Come on up. Hurry. Before everybody gets here. Come on, Clemmy. Hurry. Yeah, girl. Now it's so bright. Here, my girl. Yes. Oh. Oh, there's my girl. Yep.